Bentornati sul mio canale, bentornati su Vampyr. Controlliamo il microfono come al solito. Prova Topo Gigio, topa tropa, chi trova. Ok. Oh, fortunatamente ci ha fatto riprendere da dove avevamo lasciato.
It's locked.
Ah, all'incirca, vabbè. Andiamo prima a potenziarci. E tutti oggetti utili. Allora, aumenta i danni inflitti del 10%, oppure aggiungi 5... E riposiamo nel nostro letto finalmente. Allora, di cosa saliamo? Costano assai ste cose, eh. Ok, va bene, tanto più piano piano si sale di livello. Allora, ora. sti vampiri nuovi. Ma tanto qui non c'è nulla. La tizia ok, e ora andiamo. Attacca quando attacco io, è pazzesco. Io sto per attaccare, attacca lui. Incredibile. C'è una porta
It's locked, all right.
chiusa, ma noi andiamo dall'altro lato.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Campione di sangue, ok.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Ma è un gatto? No, vestito. Mm.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
Mm. Cavato gli occhi e tagliato la lingua.
This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent!
Il Samuele. Oh. Alquanto appestata, eh? Lettera della scuola di recitazione Fletcher. Cara Elsa, è con grande gioia che confermo che con questa lettera la sua ammissione nella mia scuola di recitazione in qualità di studentessa privata. La breve scena che ha avuto la gentilezza di recitare, la breve scena che ha avuto per me la scorsa settimana mi ha convinta che lei ha ciò che serve per diventare una vera attrice, spirito, intelligenza e coraggio. In qualità di studentessa privata la seguirò personalmente nella sua preparazione durante queste sessioni intense. Sarò invitata a restare a scuola, dato che credo fortemente che l'immersione totale sia la chiave per liberare appieno le potenzialità dei miei studenti. Quindi la prego di ricordarsi di portare gli indumenti per la notte e qualsiasi cosa possa servirle per trascorrere una settimana nella mia scuola. Cordialmente Doris Fletcher.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Grand Guignol. Sembra che le due fonti di contagio che ho trovato nel West End siano connesse a Doris Fletcher, una delle attrici più famose d'Inghilterra. Ricordo di averla vista esibirsi prima della guerra. Devo ammettere che è stata straordinaria. Ho deciso di andare alla scuola di citazione.
Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Stay back, beast!
It's locked.
Inizia proprio all'ultimo, eh.
I have this thirst for blood.
Tocca a me, tocca a me. No, non tocca a me, non toccherà mai a me. Io Bastiano. No. Boh. Devo capire dove che devo andare. solo una perdita di tempo incredibile, secondo me. Proviamo a fare un'altra missione. Andiamo da Lady Ashbury.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura.
Dr. Reed.
We must both be nocturnal.
Breathing the cold night air.
How is the situation?
I've heard rumors about armed men.
May I ask you what you do for a living?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one. And not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. In recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
Tadao è un ricco affittacamere che sente la mancanza della sua città natale.
What can you tell me about your abduction? If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days. My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and voices.
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red Queen configuration or constellation. I've never heard of such an astronomical term.
Tadao è stato catturato da un vampiro che aveva scoperto la sua passione per l'astronomia.
What did he say about voices?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things. He wanted to silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
E come faceva a sapere se così, se quello bastava a farlo tacere?
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown, Tadao?
I was focused so much on making money, I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband. I've not seen my wife and son for years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reed. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then. But I stopped laughing long ago.
Can you change?
And is it what you really want? If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reed, but you did. I will follow your example in these matters from now on.
There is no need to thank me. Rescuing a London citizen should not be out of the ordinary, though I'm afraid it may appear so in these difficult times.
You did not only rescue me, you fought for me. You put your life in danger to save me. That's quite extraordinary.
How will you cope if you're attacked again?
I don't know. I've heard about these men and women who patrol the West End every night, chasing criminals like my abductor. Maybe I should join them.
Ha deciso di combattere i vampiri dopo ciò che gli è successo.
Tell me, Tadao, why was your abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I don't know. We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
Yes, astronomy is a fascinating subject. A small telescope for my sister and I. We spent many a pleasant evening stargazing.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doctor. They are the key to our understanding of the cosmos. They remind us how insignificant we are.
You're right. But children love magic and stories. I remember our mother told us constellations have the power to protect us.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
E che ne so? Mannaggia il demonio, sono andato un attimo a spegnere le luci. Vabbè, senti, facciamo il destro dragone nella mia costellazione.
Draco. My favorite constellation.
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations. Yet I barely remember my own childhood.
Did he fake his interest in astronomy to get close to you?
In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
Goodbye, Mr. Kamal.
I almost forgot what it feels like.
Stay back, sir. This one's mine! Perfect fucking...
Good evening, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm still investigating from inside the Ascalon Club. Can we talk?
Of course, my dear.
There are many paintings adorning the walls here.
Yes?
Did you paint them?
No, my dear. But some of them. I have had a long time to learn from the best. I'm currently working on what could be my greatest masterpiece.
What is this masterpiece?
Your portrait, my dear Jonathan. It'll be my gift to you, if I ever have time to finish it.
Have you met any famous painters?
Are you trying to divine my age by cross-checking historical dates, my dear? That's a devious parlor trick.
Well, Elizabeth, I tried my best. Don't I deserve some reward at least?
Well, if you must know, I even posed for the greats. Now that you know it, you may recognize me when visiting museums.
How is your investigation going?
I have decided to explore beyond the dictates of reason.
What do you mean?
You may on occasion find this house closed when you visit me. If so, it is because I have gone undercover. Sort of.
Who are you going to surveil? I hope you're not considering spying on McCullum or the Guard of Prewan.
No. I intend to ask a few questions in parts of town I rarely venture into. Dirty places where a delicate lady like myself should never be seen.
When will you return?
As soon as possible. And I don't intend to stay away for long.
I have investigated new sources of infection, and I may have found a new type of skull. One suffering from heavy mutations that is extremely contagious.
Scowls come in various forms, you know. They are simply degenerate versions of their makers.
I believe these families are different, and I'm currently pursuing a lead. I know I can find the true source of contagion by finding who created these creatures.
That would be great news. Be very careful, my dear, when dealing with such creatures.
Goodbye, my dearest.
Goodbye, my beloved. Yes, Jonathan.
Goodbye, my...
Goodbye.
Un attimo ragazzi, voi non vedete ma c'è lo schermo che se n'è andato un po' in vacca. Un momento che viene difficile altrimenti. Tutte a me capitano. Ok. Ok. Aspettate un secondo. Il moncherie. Buono. Allora.
It's locked, all right.
Mangiamoci un biscotto. Bene.
It's locked, all right.
Tra l'altro al momento sto guardando Penny e siamo a Londra, è una figata, è una figata. Ma qui non c'è nulla.
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
晚上好。
Goodbye for now.
It's locked.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss.
Goodbye, young man. I have this thirst for blood.
Oh my god!
Send you back in the fucking grave! See them fancy clothes? This one. Oh, filthy piece of shit!
Che deficienza, non fa.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Appunto era di qua che volevo andare. Biglietto di un suicida. Non riesco più a sopportare il dolore. È come se il mio corpo interno stesse andando in pezzi da quando quella stronza mi ha infettato. È da giorni che si nasconde in camera sua, dà ordini come dei bigliettini e fa le prove. Solo di notte ho assistito a una delle sue cosiddette prove, cammina sul palco, piena di rabbia e di odio, sputando e lamentandosi della sua bellezza che sta svanendo. La stronza è infetta, marcia fino al midollo e ha intenzione di infettare tutti in questo posto e poi l'intera Londra. Il suo prossimo spettacolo non sarà prima di dicembre e per quel tempo tutti i dipendenti del teatro saranno suoi servi obbedienti, costretti a lavorare dalle sue macchinazioni diaboliche. Sono certo che abbia trovato un modo per contaminare il nostro cibo e acqua. Visto che abbiamo iniziato ad ammalarci e trasformarci dopo il pranzo che ha organizzato per noi lunedì scorso, voglio che chiunque trovi questa lettera sappia che ho deciso di suicidarmi solo per scappare da questo luogo che è diventato un vero e proprio inferno. Che Dio abbia pietà di me e della mia anima immortale nel momento che ho rifiutato di coprire.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Se la riesce a prendere, ma che mira di merda c'ha, ma porca miseria, che ho proprio fatto male con quel gameplay, mamma mia. Cioè, continua a colpire il nulla, io non lo so, si fa essere così. No, vabbè.
Woe to you, nations of for in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
Ho un'idea. Vecchio diario di Doris Flechter. L'ho vista in carne e ossa, la strega dei miei incubi dell'infanzia. La stronza che mi ha torturato per anni. L'ho vista e ho tremato, la sua voce e il suo viso. Sapevo che era in quell'ospedale. Sapevo che era malata e volevo vederla soffrire. Mi sarò anche reinventata. Sarò diventata un'attrice famosa, avrò cancellato quegli anni disgraziati della mia memoria, ma non posso dimenticare di essere sua figlia. Quando ho visto il suo corpo fragile e in quel lettino sofferente, malata, sconfitta, ho dovuto nascondere le lacrime perché mi stava guardando. Mi ha riconosciuto, ho visto lì l'odio nei miei occhi e ha sorriso. Mia madre con quel corpo pallido come un cadavere. E la cosa peggiore è che non ho provato nessuna soddisfazione a vedere soffrire così tanto. Peggio non è stato ricordare improvvisamente le percosse e gli abusi, no, il peggio è stato riconoscere l'odio che sentivo nel mio cuore quando mi guardava, perché era lo stesso odio che vedevo nei suoi occhi, perché alla fine non posso sfuggire al fatto di essere sua figlia, siamo uguali, mia madre e Dio. Ha lo stesso rumore, adesso ci ho fatto caso, mi pare di ricordarlo già questo sound di raccolta di oggetti, è quello di DEVE Within, se non erro. Se non erro è lo stesso. E comunque lo ricorda questo gioco, The Evil Within. (1913). Il tabarro. Mi ha preso. Ah no, minchia, si esce proprio. Sì, ho fatto la stronzata, vabbè. Pensavo di sbloccare solo la porta. Vabbè, non importa. Non importa, ho aperto la porta. Io mi auguro che adesso posso rientrare di qui. Ah, ok. Aspetta di nuovo. Ok, quindi
I cannot enter. This is despicable.
For now she hides in shadow, ugly as sin. But when you burn and die, and be queen again, will they adore me again when they share my fate? For I have been raised with hate.
I have this thirst for blood. It's locked.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final.
Va bene, non vuole ragionare.
Killed my children, my beloved, die for the love. I smell your fear. Touché, sir.
Che cazzo è che non riesco a colpire? Vabbè, allora non ti colpisco più.
Your hand is shaking. Your blood. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she.
Kukan? Eh sì, non schivava più a finire tutta la cazzo di stamina maledetta. Spero non mi faccia ricominciare chissà da dove, perché Non ne ho intenzione. Quindi ha una servitrice o un servitore scale. Vediamo da dove mi fa iniziare.
Woe unto thee, son of Babylon! I smell your fear.
Oh.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? My children, my
Aspetta, cambio un attimo un potere. Porco can... Madonna, che sembra... Non so quanto mi convenga stare vicino a loro. Ma hanno pure morso. Mamma mia, non c'è la miseriaccia. Ti ho fottuto, ragazza.
Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to do it.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher. The greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that skull infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat. You and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection, while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Nuovo diario di Doris Flecter. Presto tornerò su mi serve. Come? Sorpresi del metodo seguente. Toccati. Lascito. Vicino sporco ingannatore di numero. Beh. Una fine toccante.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now. Ho sbagliato perché volevo mettere questo. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to contagion through skin. Very fascinating.
Ah già, l'ho preso in pieno. No. Mannaggia. Dove è andato?
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Devo tornare qui. Lorda. Che è successo? Ah, ecco, c'è quello.
Over there! I'll kill it! Filthy dog, face! Bloody monster!
Qui sono più deboli. Oh, però sono più stronzi, sì. Oh, hanno rotto i coglioni. Più deboli un corno. Minchia, mi stanno ammazzando. E non ho più stamina. Sì, vabbè, ma non li becca nemmeno. Ah, loro sì però. C'avevo una mira di merda, c'è sto tizio. Devo aspettare che la stamina portacci sua. No, vabbè, ma morire per mano di sti fessi no, eh. Ah. Ho appena finito di dire, oh, sono deboli. Sti cazzi. Tacci loro, mortacci. Allora, togliamo l'affare. Oh, dove siamo? Forse... ok. Per un attimo mi ero perso.
News, Jonathan. I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so. Except, perhaps, it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female. They called them icors.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit.
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think. Following a lead concerning your maker.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan. Hope for a better tomorrow.
I'll come back later.
Always a pleasure.
Un attimo. Un attimo, ragazzoni. Allora, io su. Ok, un attimo ragazzi. Ok, eccoci di nuovo qui. Allora possiamo salire di livello. Questo mi piace. Però non posso più. Ok.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need medical help yourself?
I'm afraid I've contracted some ill...
I will see you later. Do you need medical...
I'm afraid...
Not under my watch.
Thank you, Dr.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Don't come closer, sir. This one's mine! Christ! He's dead!
I'll kill him! You leeches didn't kill him!
Watch it! It's a kid! There's one of them birds!
Hai capito? Allora, di qua.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
I have found a restaurant that could satisfy you, Mr. Russell. The most intriguing and exotic restaurant in London.
Really? You have piqued my interest. Where is it?
It's a place where you eat in complete darkness and try to identify your meal without anything but your palate.
My, oh my, how interesting. It could even be fun to eat a little poisson et frites that way. Oh, thank you, Dr. Reed. Please, have this for your research.
Minchia, 200 scellini mi ha dato. Vabbè, wow.
I may have a look at your good.
Cosa da vendermi? Ok.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Good evening, old chap.
I won't lie.
You need some...
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Rieccomi. Controlliamo il microfono. Prova sa. Ok. Allora. Lord.
I have a boat ready to go whenever I want. These hunters won't catch me.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Prendi appunti. Qui potevano sistemare un po', sto bordello che... Vabbè, andiamo su.
Perhaps we should change some of the club's rules if we survive all of this. We need to soften some of our laws. I pursued and killed the last hunter with my own hands as he tried to escape the club.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Understandably.
Goodbye, Lord.
Tutto qui. Vabbè.
Lord Redgrave is outside almost every night coordinating our defenses. Such an example.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson. To make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage, and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not murder your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Concordo.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Sapete, concordo con Elizabeth.
I must admit the guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing.
Ho parlato con Dawson e mi sa proprio di fatti di uno che brama il potere e in modo abbastanza tirannico, appunto, di autorità da dividere, insomma, da fregarsene dei poveri, insomma, per capirci. Arrivo subito, intanto che carico. Allora, a noi.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
E se mi spara mentre io colpisco, allora ti stronzo come una peste maledetta. Ah, mannaggia. Mica proprio mi faccio di sondato. Ma lei no. Lei è sottoterra e non so come arrivarci. La cosa più grave è quella. E il punto è da capo. Vabbè, lasciamo perdere. Lasciamo perdere. Qui non ho la chiave.
I cannot enter. I should find another way to get into the neighborhood. I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Don't you know?
Questa non l'avevo vista la scorsa volta. Magari questo posto, appunto questa via, porta anche a dove dovevo andare per trovare quella signorina lì. E in tal caso
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ma perché?
It's locked.
Cosa c'è di male nel mangiare un topo? Io non lo so. Chi diavolo? Leon Anguistis. Ok, un Volgor, come si chiama? Ha resistito? Mi riprende? Ha resistito. Forse perché fa tipo già... Oh cazzo. Ora no. Devo fare una cosa. No, ma vabbè, non importa. Non l'ho mica preso. No, non mi dire che resiste. Sono riuscito. La violenza dei Vulcod. Non lasciatevi ingannare dalla stazza di un Vulcod. Queste enormi bestie sono tanto veloci quanto qualsiasi sanguisuga e si eliminano allo stesso modo, perforando e immobilizzando a terra la loro carcassa, per poi decapitarli. Ricordate, si tratta solo di essere preparati e di sfruttare le debolezze dell'avversario. Il problema, ovviamente, è che i Vulcod non hanno punti deboli, sono forti, rapidi, scaltri e letali. Sono macchine da morte mosse da un unico e semplice obiettivo: stringere i loro grossi artigli attorno al vostro collo. Perciò, se avrete la fortuna di incontrare uno, ricordatevi la sfortuna ricordatevi questo: schivate, fatelo arrabbiare, feritelo, provocatelo e fatevi perdere la pazienza. Così facendo perderà il senno e smetterà di pensare e inizierà ad attaccare la cieca. Ottenere un vantaggio tattico è l'unico modo per averla meglio su questa stupida bestia. Sfruttatelo. Da Conosci i tuoi nemici di Carl Eldritch, capo primo. Non abbiamo ancora usato i proiettili, perché non provare? $500 e sto fa 800. Inizia il labirinto, Allora, un momento ragazzi. Ok, tornando a noi, devo solo rispondere a un mio amico, ad Enrico. Allora, qui spero di trovare la fanciulla, sono sincero.
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Devo solo capirci, cioè lei è sotto. È un labirinto, è roba. Sbagliato. Bene, diario recente. Sono appena arrivato a Londra dopo un viaggio estenuante da Manchester. La città è sprofondata nella tristezza e nella disperazione. Qui non sarà difficile trovare una donna disposta a sfuggire alla morte. Non vedo l'ora di iniziare la mia ricerca presto. Un attimo solo, ragazzi, si sta distaccando una cosa che poi mi dà dei problemi. Ok, dicevamo, no, non vedo l'ora di iniziare la mia ricerca, presto non sarò più vergine. La cella è pronta, ora tutto ciò che devo fare è trovare la candidata giusta e portarla qui. Sarà bellissima e gentile, con un bel carattere. Ho già testato la mia capacità di persuasione con qualche donna e la maggior parte delle volte ha funzionato, ma non voglio che la mia futura moglie sia remissiva. Userò il mio potere solo per portarla qui. Poi le dirò che intendo fare e lascerò che accetti. Questo è importante, voglio che la mia compagna accetti spontaneamente di diventare mia moglie per l'eternità. 2 giorni dopo, penso di aver trovato la mia compagna ideale, si chiama Louise, fa la cameriera in un pub ed è alquanto affascinante. Mi piace il suo atteggiamento quando serve da bere in quel bar. Forte e orgoglioso, sono sicuro che accetterà la mia offerta. Una volta che sarà mia, una volta che il sangue di vampiro avrà portato a termine la metamorfosi del suo viso, dovrebbe guarire completamente, le sue cicatrici scompariranno. Allora sarà di una bellezza perfetta, una bellezza che ora vedo solo io. Non capisco, Louise rifiuta la mia proposta, perché dovrebbe? Le ho promesso che non la costringerò mai a fare niente. Forse la lascerò patire un po' la fame, così capirà che sono la sua unica opzione. Ah, meno male che non vuole costringerlo. Che merda. Hai capito? Il padre di Luis ha cercato di salvarla, il rapitore di Luis voleva renderla un vampiro. Pazzesco. Nel frattempo il tizio si è cibato, però ha il gusto dell'impalazione.
Are you all right, miss?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
My name is Jonathan Reed. I'm a doctor. What happened to you?
Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped a few weeks ago by a vampire. Don't laugh, please, sir. It's no joke.
I believe you.
That monster told me my father was dead. That no one was waiting for me outside.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should just return home.
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon. Because I'd really like you to teach me how to get rid of these creatures.
Tanto non posso. Non posso curarla. Non al momento. Chissà perché.
Goodbye, Miss T. I don't know your father, but I'm sure he wouldn't like to see you here. It's not a safe place, miss.
My father was a great man who taught his daughter not to surrender without a fight. If he's dead, I hope he gave his killer a hard time.
Goodbye.
Allora, tra l'altro ho sentito pure delle campane.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are? And why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard.
Oh.
And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
Sono qui di mia iniziativa, lavoro per il club Ascalon.
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Ma Fergal lo uccidono? Vorrei segnalare Geoffrey McCool.
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Geoffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante, trying to recruit an army of angry citizens.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
Crede che un maniaco omicidio si nasconda dietro l'epidemia.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. My theory is correct. Maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale. It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers,
Ma
but
l'abbiamo appena salvata.
I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
What are you investigating?
I have a miss.
Tell me about...
She's a waitress.
Do you have any idea?
No.
Ma... Vabbè. Forse preferiamo...
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Vabbè, non possiamo rivelare altro, quindi io lo saluterei.
Goodbye.
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go?
Biker. Agamemnon.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need...
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough...
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask why you've not gone if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to the city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see?
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you are not in your place? That sort of trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London...
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
What are you really afraid of, Agamemnon?
The problem is, it's precisely what I don't know that frightens me. So I suppose I can't really answer your question.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker. It's locked, all right. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be a...
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you...
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me anything?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I don't know. I was born and raised in London. But I feel like a stranger here recently.
You didn't answer my question, sir. But I don't blame you. Perhaps it's better that way.
And what do you do, sir?
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what...
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. All my life. And now I think it's over.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Quindi lui ha convinto suo fratello.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
How long have you been waiting for this man?
Sometimes I feel as though I've been waiting for him for ages. Perhaps it is my role in life to wait for him. Not a pleasant thought.
It could be dangerous for you, waiting here all night.
That's quite true. But what other choice do we have? We are waiting here until we finally go.
Mr. Baker, I have met many strange people during my life, but you are definitely one of the strangest.
Really? I don't feel particularly odd or weird. All I want to do is leave. What's wrong with that?
Why are you still waiting for this person?
What would be the point of going before me? As he's going to help us leave.
Tell me more about your strange feelings towards the city.
I would be happy to describe them, but it's too hard to explain with mere words what I'm feeling. It's unclear, too confused.
Go on, please.
Where should I start? The world is chaos. Men go mad, and nature itself runs roughshod over us all.
This is not the first time mankind has faced a deadly epidemic, or a war.
Men kill each other, while nature decides to kill them all. I don't know what scares me the most. Do you?
The madness of men worries me, of course, but I understand it. The wrath of nature is far more terrifying, however, since we don't understand that.
Are things less frightening once we understand them? That would seem logical, but comprehension can also bring despair.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
Pericles, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Perhaps it's time to leave. Perhaps we should stay a little longer. How can I tell?
And where exactly are you thinking of going?
In a place where I will finally have that feeling, to be where I belong. The world has to be meaningless chaos to make such a heaven plausible.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye, Mr. Bacon.
Hello again.
Tell me, how long have you been waiting here?
I can't say for sure, since I have no watch. But the night is still young, and I am not tired.
Is that the most honest answer you can give me?
Yes, I think so. Why does it irritate you, sir? Is comprehension really that important to you?
I'm a scientist. I try my best to understand things. I know the world has to obey unbreakable rules.
You know, or you want the world to obey such rules?
I know one thing. I do not understand who you are.
And it's better that way. What kind of life would we live if we could summarize a person in a few words or a few lines?
If you finally manage to leave London, where do you intend to go?
A happy place, that's for sure. A place where I can smile because I know the next day will be better than the previous one.
Such a place doesn't exist. There are never any guarantees that tomorrow will be a better day.
That would mean I have no hope left. And I just can't accept such a conclusion.
Goodbye for now. Good evening, Mr. Goodbye, Mr. Bacon.
Il crimine del sapere perduto. I vampiri sono pericolosi, letali e talvolta feroci. Questo è un dato di fatto e non lo negherò. Ed è proprio per questo che dobbiamo capire cosa sono e a volte chi sono per comprenderci meglio a vicenda. Ricordate il colloquio con Titus Flavius Josephus, tenuto da uno di noi nel 1548 quando finalmente lo incontrò in Spagna. Ricordate come la parola scelta per il trattamento del vampiro riscaldava nel nostro cuore ogni volta che la leggevamo, perché ciascuna era una finestra che si apriva ad un passato che conosciamo solo di sfuggita. Purtroppo Titus non è più tra noi. I cacciatori del Vaticano lo hanno eliminato qualche settimana fa e con lui è scomparsa una quantità inestimabile di saperi di pilastri della nostra civiltà. Tutto ciò è un crimine tanto straziante quanto l'uccisione di un innocente da parte di un vampiro. È proprio per questo che la via percorsa dalla guardia criminale è dannosa, perché ogni volta che portano a termine una delle loro metodiche caccia agli antichi vampiri inglesi, invece di avvicinarci in maniera cauta e rispettosa, distruggono parte delle radici che accomunano noi e gli immortali, gettando nel vento l'opportunità della grande caccia e un'iniziativa criminale in quanto uccide ciecamente parole e pensieri. È vero, concordo appieno proprio.
Jonathan Reed, at last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do.
Oddio, ma sembra Franco Battiato.
Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me?
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
Oh, sembra Franco Battiato. O comunque lo ricorda.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The Sorceress. A heart-shaped trap built to entangle a loved one. Mirrors on every wall to see her own reflection constantly.
Spesso ferita.
Can you read the cards for me?
Put the money on the table then, Jonathan.
Perhaps later. What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often...
So you see nothing in the... Poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things. But they will only consider...
Sembra che Usher sappia che molti londinesi sono stati... No, scusa, non ero consapevole delle vere circostanze in cui è morta Mary.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's a burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
Ma io voglio sapere.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time. Sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
The walls of your prison have already been raised, Jonathan. But you will freely accept to be locked inside, full of hope for a better day.
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks.
The truth, now! Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and suffering went on after.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
May I ask you about...
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
How do you measure the amount?
I told you.
Is it possible to...
Vampire's fate is much more...
I would rather not... Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson? Yes, of course. We met on...
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Red River, a song in the dark, the whispers of a sun.
It's
so
locked,
many
all right.
Signs to interpret.
Di sicuro c'è un meccanismo che poi dovrò scoprire. Leggere così tanto mi stanca. Avrei preferito l'avessero tradotto in italiano. Sono sincero. Vabbè.
It's locked.
Ok ragazzi, io direi che possiamo per oggi staccare qui, visto che siamo al nascondiglio, abbiamo fatto abbastanza per oggi, Allora, allora, direi di ok, mi manca quella roba lì, ma forse no. E buon, salviamo, potenziamo e vi saluto. Ok, allora, vabbè, potenziamo. Boh. Potenziare il morso. Perfetto. Che va bene. E nulla. Ragazzuoli, vi saluto. Che c'è dell'altro? No, non mi pare di no. E ci vediamo alla prossima. Ciao belli.